Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to our 72nd episode of the Londonderry View. And we've been away for a little while. The last thing we did was candidate shows for the representatives that were running back in our general election. And then we had 4 major elections last year. So we really just didn't have the bandwidth. But this year we're excited, we're ready. It's hard to believe. We were talking to Erin earlier today, and we started the Londonderry View back in 2016. So this is the 8th year running, and again, the 72nd episode. Very excited. It started back at a Jeb Bush little rally at our senior center, and it was our Kirby and our Kathy and Bonnie. And we were walking out, and we were just going on and on about, Jeb and what a great job he did, and hoping to meet him. And just what we were doing, I turned to the girls and said, this should be the Londonderry View. And it kind of shows you that with one idea and positive people and great energy and volunteers behind the scene there, like Al and Erin and Drew, that good things can happen. And the whole premises of it was that there's a view on TV, but the Londonderry View will always be positive and supportive, celebrating only the great things that happen in our community, the new businesses, the good people throughout the state and throughout our town. So things have changed a little, so we wanted to share that with you. And our Bonnie, who's been with us for the 8 years, started it with us. She's going to take a little break, a little hiatus, and do some other things. And our Kathy has moved, and our Kirby has moved on too. So we're very excited. We're going to continue. Deb and I have been doing it now together as the co-hosts here for the last year, doing the best we could. And our Carol Murphy is wonderful. And she's from Londonderry too with us, and she's willing to step up to the plate to help us out. So we're very excited. And then all of you, we can't thank you enough. Tonight's going to be a little bit of a hodgepodge, but we're ready. So Happy New Year to everyone, 2025, and we're going to get started. So Deb, why don't you take over the next part?
We were thinking of, we had a few hiccups last year only because we wanted to get more shows in, but we unfortunately had no time between the 4 elections, and we had so many different things. We had planned to do some off-site different locations, restaurants, some stores, different things, but unfortunately the time just got away from us, and one thing led to another, and then the year passed, and it just seemed like it was New Year's. Right. So we have a great ideas for this year. We'd like to do at least one every month for in the studio, and hopefully get out and do some to our wonderful. We have so many new places in town that we want to go to. We've got some wonderful health store that we all love. All of us love it. We're Cedars Embrace. We want to have her on or go to her facility. We also want to do. I think the name of the place is
X-Physical. We always get
I always get it messed up. But it's a wonderful.
Plaza.
It's a different. I think it's physical therapy and things like that.
Yes, it is, and they've reached out to us.
And then we keep saying we want to get Troy's on. And different people. We're hoping to get our new governor on. That would be really a good
Governor
catch.
Sununu was with us a few years back at one of our old home days, so we're going to reach out to our wonderful new governor, Kelly Ayotte, and hope that she can attend. Or perhaps we could go up to the State House and do a show from there. We'd be open to any of that. So.
And I forgot Nescafe. They've always asked us to go on. We also have, which we haven't really updated too much, but we're going to get back on schedule. We have a Facebook page, so if you go to Facebook, it's the Londonderry View. We're going to have all of our upcoming shows posted on it, and as well as giving you an idea on what we're thinking about. If you have any ideas, just let us know. You can email us any ideas you have. If you have a company you want to promote, or you want us to come by, or some kind of group that you'd like to talk about, we would love to have all the ideas we can. So don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Reach out. And in the years past, we've done exercise here. We visited our wonderful super walk.
We had pickleball.
Pickleball. We tried some pickleball. We're really open to anything that's positive and would benefit our community. So help us with that, and we'll try to get better on the Facebook page. Deb's going to be kind of manning it along with Erin, and letting you know about the upcoming shows. And
we are going to be having the next elections. We're going to, as usual, we've really tried to be on schedule with that, with all the candidates for the town, so you guys can get to know each and every candidate, what they're about, why they're running, and give you some ideas so that you can make a good choice when you go out and vote.
Right, because so many people say to us in the town hall that, but how do I get to know the candidates? How do I know what they've done, what they're committed to? So we decided to give every candidate that signs up, sign-ups do start next Wednesday, January 22nd. It's a 10-day period. They'll end on the 31st of January at 5 p.m. Erin's actually going to post the positions that are open so that everyone's aware of them. But with the show, it's all positive again, and it gives every candidate that decides to contact us 10 minutes when they can just talk and share, share why they're running and anything that they like about themselves. And we're just kind of here to nudge them along a little. Some candidates need us to, to really help. Others just take that 10 minutes and dance with it and run with it. So that'll be coming up too. And we do have, of course, our deliberative right after that will be coming up too. That's February 7th for the school deliberative meeting that evening, a Friday, and then we have our town deliberative, which is February 8th in the morning. All of this information can be found on our website, the Town of Londonderry. So that's all coming up, and we also really want to stress to everyone, we'll probably do it a few times during this show, to please come out and vote on March 11th. Your polls open at 6 a.m. and close at 8 p.m. But it's the one time we have to really cast and have our votes heard, and your town election is the most important in many ways to our town. Each election is equally important, but this is where all of our budget money, all of the warrant articles, citizens petitions. So if we can get 19,000 people to come out for our general election, then we really should get, pretty. If we got even half of that, so help us with that.
That's the one that hits you in the pocketbook right here. So it's something that you really need to.
You're always so
focus
good
on.
about stressing that, Deb,
it's something that it's the local government is what really is. Yes, we have to vote for presidents and everything else, but if you really want to, it's the local stuff. You got to get out and vote.
Really
when we have only 1,000 people show up, it's just so sad.
Yeah, or about 3,500 last year, and if we can get 19,000 again, we should be able to get at least half of that. And spread the word. March 11th, plan now, put it on your calendar, and it's a great day. You also see a lot of people maybe that you haven't seen before. Of course, it's at our high school, so absolutely, and we'll talk about more with our candidate shows and all too, but.
So I think you wanted to introduce Carol for her
debut on the Londonderry View. Yes, and we can't thank Carol enough because we're really missing our Bonnie who's been with us, and so Carol was wonderful with no notice and very little preparation. Earlier today it was kind of like, oh, what do we, and beautifully and peacefully, Carol, you just rolled with it all, and we're just so happy you're here with us. And Carol, Carol's got some really kind of neat things to share with us about this 2025 that has just started.
Yep, so it's a new year, 2025. We should prioritize self-care, drink more water, so you can stay energized, right?
This is what we do at work.
Every
This
day.
is what we do at work because Carol has made us all get these wonderful things, and it's water all day long.
Water,
so we all have our jugs. I think every one of us now at the town hall.
I think
in
we do.
the
We're
clerk's
all
office,
trying.
anyways. We all have one.
Yeah, and Carol, what is it you always say too, that water really is the biggest makeup of our bodies?
Yep. Most of your body is water, so it's really important to stay hydrated and for a healthy you. Also get your rest so you can recharge for your day. That's so important.
7 to 8 hours, I guess, which can be tricky, but so vital.
Yeah. And then always keep moving so you can nurture your body, your mind, your soul, right? All really important.
That's right. I hear from people all the time that just people comes into the office or whatever. We have our Rainey that's 100 years old plus now, almost.
101.
Yeah, and he comes
Rainey-
in and tells us his
secret
secrets
was-
for stretching and everything, and it's just you got to move,
Yep.
and you got to move,
Yeah.
and we hear that all the time from people. It's just
We
crazy.
really, just keep the body moving, and the water, like I was never one really to think of having our water first thing when we wake up, and Carol, you really have helped us all to know that
yeah.
before you grab that coffee or that tea with all that caffeine, you really should try to get at least 8 ounces of water
At
in,
least, yeah.
which helps the skin and our energy level, and just makes you feel better overall. What is it?
absolutely.
Is it half your body weight you should have in ounces of water?
Yes,
Is
half,
that
at
what-
least that's
at least
like
half
the
of our
baseline.
to try and
Yeah.
Yeah.
but yes,
Well,
we're
small steps, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's taking those small, consistent actions that create a stronger, healthier you.
Yeah.
You know.
Every little thing that you do is
Yeah.
anything positive.
anything
positive.
positive. That's right.
Yep.
And they do say, is it 6 weeks, Carol, right, to try to get to, it becomes a habit and it
Yep.
becomes a routine. So hang in there if you try it like we are.
Yep,
And
yep.
and you're so
We're
good
doing-
about it because you've made it a habit and part of your routine. And I think that's the key with all of these
Yeah,
things.
it makes it easier if you have a water bottle because you can measure it.
Right. And
You know.
and
You know what you're drinking, and
yeah.
And this time of year, everybody starts off the new year. Oh, I'm doing this, this, and this. And what is it? The second Friday or whatever of the year. Usually, that's the quit Friday or whatever they call it. It's everybody stops. Doing
Stops. You give it that good old,
Yeah.
you think about the
But-
health clubs you're going to join or the exercise, but if you can get it to be that habit,
Yeah.
that's I mean,
just the
Just
small,
small steps. Yep.
things.
yeah, taking standing, sitting. So many jobs now are at home or
Yep.
where you don't get that opportunity, so you just have to make it. I guess, Carol, huh?
Right.
And thinking about what we put into our bodies,
Yep.
and so no, that's I think and anything else too.
Be kind, right?
Be kind.
Kindness changes everything.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah,
So important.
Yeah, and it also, I think that's another part of our healing.
Yep.
When we're kind, it kind of nurtures your body too.
Yep.
And when people aren't, I think it eats away at them too in so
Right.
many ways, which is so sad. And something we always say in the office, we all agree, is that when somebody is a little grumpy or something, you never know what they're going through or what they've just walked through the door with, or the information they just had, or maybe somebody really set their day off the wrong way. So always being mindful of that, and which is
Definitely.
Yeah.
And being around positive people makes you more positive too.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it does. It
yeah,
really does.
it really does, and
Yep.
kind of pass it on
Yep.
right, as we
Exactly.
as we go along. And well, Deb, I guess we can talk about a few things, and you can tell we're just trying to find our way back
trying to
into the
get our way
Londonderry
back.
View, and we're off to a really
Well, we
good
were thinking
start.
about, we always get comments and, people ask all the time about dog registration. Why do we have to register dogs, and it's one of those tedious things we don't, at the town hall, at the clerk's office, we don't like to have to always talk about money because we're always taking all the money. But we just wanted to give you an idea on the history of why dog licenses are even existing in New Hampshire. New Hampshire dog licenses started around 1842. Actually, a little bit before that, different towns had these little cards they would give out, and different things, and it started. But it wasn't structured. It wasn't statewide. It wasn't a law of any kind.
Which really surprised me, because I
Yeah.
would have guessed it was 50s, but when you
No,
were
it was
talking
in
about
1800s,
that,
and then in
surprising.
1840, that was around 1842. There was a legislation on the books that stated, and I'm going to quote it: "No person shall be held liable for killing any dog found not having around his neck a collar with the name of the co-owner and the owner engraved thereon. Also, any town may make laws and bylaws for licensing or restraining dogs." And basically that said that if a dog came into your yard and did something to your chickens or your cows or whatever, your livestock, if it had a tag around it, you were not allowed to shoot it or to get rid of it because it was a licensed dog. And then if it wasn't, then you could. So that was kind of, all mishmash all over the state. It was crazy. So in 1891, due to the problem of having livestock killed by dogs that were not registered. In 1891, the state made it a requirement for all dogs to be vaccinated for rabies. That was something that had to be done, and licensed in New Hampshire each year by April 30th. So after June 1st, if you don't register your dog, that's when we talk about the civil forfeitures, which is not done by the town, it's a state law. If you don't pay for your dog's license by June 1st, then you will be hit with a $25 fee, and that is state mandated. It's not the town.
Right.
So we just want to make sure everybody knows that it's not the town.
Yeah.
That way, if a dog, back then, if a dog attacked your livestock, you could find out who the owner was by the tag, or the police department, whatever. They would know who to go to get reimbursed for all the
damage and the
damages.
loss of livestock.
There was a lot of livestock around then and everything. And we thought it was very interesting that the first fines, the first dog fees for the state were $2. It's a one-time fee. It wasn't yearly like it is now. It was $2 for a male dog and $5 for female dogs to get a tag.
Back then.
Wow.
So in this day and age, if that was to come
equate
up
it
with
to today.
to today's currency, it would have been $75 for a male and $187 for a female, and that would have been a one-time. So now, unfortunately, we don't do it it's every year, but it's very minimal. It's puppies. Our fees are all over the state. Are puppies 4 to 7 months old are $7.50. Altered dogs are also $7.50, male or female. If it's an unaltered dog, then it's $10 per year. And any senior citizen over the age of 65, if you have one dog, it's $3. And for that first dog, if you have two, it's $3. And then you'd go with the 10 or the $7.50, depending on if it's altered or not. So it really, it's come a long way. It really has. And the state is very stringent on the requirements. We try to go as late as possible to hit everyone with the that don't register with the $25 fee. Plus, the town does charge $1 every month as a late fee also. So you really want to get out there and get them done.
Right. And you can start right now.
You can start right now. We got the tags
Silver
in.
Hearts.
Yeah.
We've
That
got
are ready to go.
We send out reminders.
We do,
We
yeah.
do
And emails. We have your
postcards,
email.
and
You
we're
do
really
it right online.
and you can do it online.
Oh, Carol,
Once you get
yes.
the email, you can just continue right online and do it. We are striving to get everybody on emails because we think it's really important. We want to save the town money for postage. I mean, it's 69 cents, isn't it 69 cents now to send things?
Right.
And the cards are 67 cents. So it's it's not a small amount anymore. When you've we have over 5,000 dogs in town that have been registered, not counting the ones that are not registered. So we do have a lot of dogs in town. The money does go to when someone's bit by a dog, and then they have to get rabies shots, or they test for rabies on dogs. It's all part of that.
It really is. So the money is used well through the state.
It is. It's not like it just goes to
No.
someone's
Absolutely
coffers
not.
for
For
nothing.
studies and yes.
And then if you do have a thing where your dog's passed away or you're moved out of town, please let us know because we can take you off of our roster for the dogs, and it makes it so much easier for us. Then we don't have to start calling and
we feel horrible when we call and
It
someone
is.
says, "Oh, our puppy passed," or so if you can let us know, we know it's hard, but that way.
And we do have
you
one dog officer who works part-time.
Our wonderful David
Dave,
Carver.
Dave
a
Carver,
great
and he
man,
doesn't want to come
awesome.
to your door with posting, on it about that
really,
either. He's got plenty of other good things to do. So, we
And if
really
you've
appreciate
moved too, if you're moving to Chester or to Berlin, please let us know because then too you won't get those little reminders and all.
Yep, absolutely.
At the state rate now too, in our legislation, there's actually a bill trying to change the wording on the RSA for the civil forfeitures, and we get these calls. They want to remove the part that says that the town clerk's office may or shall take your dog. Because we get people that call
Really nervous,
and say, "Oh, please, I'm late on my dog registration. I didn't mean to be. Please don't take my dog." And we feel horrible. So there is some new laws that our representatives are working on to try to remove that wording because that's not the goal of any town or city clerk's office. We want to keep all of us safe, and we also want to make sure that if a dog is lost when the dog's registered, we can help through our dog officer and, just through our own networking to find that dog, or, if a dog bites someone, then we know that they've met their rabies requirements, and we can help with that. So it's vitally important. The other side of that too, on a kind of a pooping notice, I guess, is please, as you're walking your dogs and all, pick up the messes after your dogs.
Yes.
I have little Gigi, and but I always make sure, because another dog's feces can make other children that are all playing and other dogs sick. So it's really important, and it's just nice for all of us to walk along our rail trail and other places without seeing that. So, and also don't just pick it up and leave the bag on the side of the road, because you see a lot of that too. So, and we all want to work together on those things. And
for the most part, everybody's really good about it.
Yeah, people
I
are
think
trying
out of the 5,000
more.
something dogs we have now, I don't know the exact number right now, we ended the year with 103 that were not registered.
That is
so,
not bad.
That was phenomenal. It was really, we were glad that it was that
Yeah.
low. But it's still 100 people that, we have to go, and now we
And
have to
check,
go out there
right.
and
Yeah,
deal with the
so-
civil forfeitures and everything. So,
Yeah, if you
Just,
notice
yeah.
a neighbor or someone, that, if we all work together, it's that old alone we can do so little, together we can do so much.
yep.
So if you can, but Deb, that was a great, because it's interesting. I would have never guessed it went back
I
to the
know.
1800s.
I know.
time.
It
Who
was-
would have thought that?
I thought it was just
So-
like, like you said,
And
the
with life,
50s or
yeah,
something, for more
with the-
taxes or something,
Yeah, and it's something in a way that the price has actually gone down some, which is,
Definitely.
people ask us about cats in New Hampshire, but in other states, cats
other
are
states.
required to be registered, but in New Hampshire, no. So one thing we also wanted to mention is we have our rabies clinic planned for everyone in town to help everyone
yes.
save money.
I forgot
That'll
the
be
date.
coming up in April.
I forgot the
It'll be
date.
coming up in April.
Yeah.
Dr. Myrna, again, at Londonderry Vet Clinic is volunteered to donate the vaccinations for us, and with Sarah, her helper, and we'll all
We'll have
be
raffle
there.
baskets.
Oh, and Carol has a wonderful, a little bit about that. Tell
Yeah.
us about the raffle baskets.
We have some of the local businesses donate, baskets or items that can be, you can put raffle tickets in for, and
No
win some
charge.
great, no charge, win some great prizes. So, yeah.
The
be really good.
groomers all get involved, and,
Yeah.
and our wonderful pet store in town, and
Yeah.
some of the rest, just to kind of make it fun. And this year, really with Carol and Deb's energy behind all this, we're hoping to make it bigger and better. We're hoping to have a pet photographer there, possibly someone to clip nails on our pets, and possibly someone to put the microchips in. We really want to make it event, and the biggest reason is that the price is so much better, because we know a lot of people are struggling. You can get your dog or cat, because we can also vaccinate your cats if
That's true.
if you want to get that done there too.
And you can register right at that time.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about that. Right, so our office will be open, so kind of one-stop shopping. Come in, come through, and then register your dog too, and you're all set for the year, which is great. So more information will be coming. We'll have Erin put the date up on the blue board for us too, so that we're
And we'll have
excited
it on the
about
Facebook
that.
page.
Yeah, is this our third annual, I think, right? Third annual.
Yeah, we've
Third or fourth?
1, 2, 3, maybe 4.
Maybe even four,
Yeah.
so very exciting.
Because I've done
happy-
2 already. This will be my
Wow.
third, so I think
Yeah, and I
it's got to
did
be
my
before
fourth.
that,
So it's got to be
right.
maybe fifth.
Yeah, that's exciting. So, and help us spread the word on that. And you don't have to be just from Londonderry. I mean, the Londonderry View is not just for Londonderry. If you have other businesses, events across the state, we want to spread the good word. And the same with the rabies clinic. If you're from another town, you're welcome to come and join in. And many other towns have them throughout April and throughout the season coming up.
Yes.
So spread the word if you can with us. So good stuff with all of that. Yeah, what's next here? What do we
Talk
have?
about holidays.
Yeah. Let's see here. Want to talk a little bit some about the special days coming up, Carol?
Oh.
Oh,
So we have Martin Luther King Day, or MLK Day.
MLK
Yeah,
Day.
that's our coming up on Monday.
On Monday,
right?
yeah.
The town hall is open.
Yep,
Yeah.
the town hall is
Town hall's
We don't get
open.
that one off.
Nope, that's right.
Yep. So that this is a day that honors our civil rights leader, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So that's this Monday, and then at the very end of the month,
Yep. We have our Chinese New Year, which is a very big celebration, and we're trying to learn more about that. So we're going to
It's the
celebrate
year of the snake.
Year of the Snake.
Yeah.
And the snake is the symbol of wisdom from what we've been looking into, intuition and transformation while offering personal growth and change opportunities. So that really ties into our New Year's celebration of the year 25 and what we've been finding just online about what we're supposed to be focusing on. What you said, Carol, the self-care, and you know, we can always take care of others better when we take good care of ourselves.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah, so that's kind of exciting. Some different things we're hoping we can all explore. And then Valentine's Day.
Yeah, right around the corner is Valentine's Day. Not till February 14th.
No, February 14th.
Right?
Yeah.
It's dedicated to love and affection.
And kindness. I
Yep,
think,
kindness, absolutely,
And, that's
always.
Always a good, like we think of these days too, that especially in these bitter cold, like right now, we know it's bitter cold outside as we're doing this, but you know, it's a really good time, that love and care and affection, checking on your neighbors,
Absolutely.
checking on each other. Sometimes the people that seem the happiest are the ones that need, you know, that little pat on the back, or, and I think that's Valentine's Day, you know, it's just kind of like spreading the love, and I know we're all a little leery of hugs, but I'm bringing back hugs, you know. It's like during COVID we were so, it's like, you know, hugs just help us, and I think that Valentine's Day, maybe this year we can add a few other little things, and the martyr Valentine was the one who kind of brought that back from many centuries ago now. And a day of love, but there are no restrictions. It's saying love has to be only toward your significant other. It's that idea of spreading the love too.
It's just like being friendly, or it can be just affection. It doesn't have to be love, you know.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
Like you said, like a
It
neighbor,
could be
an
a
elderly
friend,
neighbor that's
family
kind of shut
member.
in, or you
Yeah.
know, somebody that, I don't know, it's just, there's so many opportunities out there.
There really are, yep, just, and not to mention the chocolate,
Oh yeah.
which,
Yes.
you know, that's always a good part, and you can share that, a little nibble of that here and there too, so that's always a fun one, you know, and for the school children and all of those good
Yeah.
things that come with
They
it.
love that.
Yeah, and let's see, so we've got our little list here, all of our papers, and I think we've covered most of the
think we
things
covered everything.
we wanted to. We didn't have a guest tonight, because we just really wanted to thank our Carol for joining Deb and I, you know, and becoming part of the team with the Londonderry View. But we also have asked our Erin, who is always behind the scenes, and you know, is part of the family of the Cable Center here, to come on, because she has a great podcast going, and I think people need to know that this is all free and open to us in the community. So we're
let's
going to
get
take
her on.
take a little break, and we thank you for watching, and more guests and opportunities to come. So we're just going to take a little pause. Hi everyone, we're back, and we have our wonderful Erin with us, who is the Assistant Director for the Cable Studio here in Londonderry, and really the person that makes, along with Al and with Drew, behind the scenes, makes this all happen. So Erin, thank you for being here with us, and tell us a little bit about your wonderful new podcast that's waiting.
Sure. Well, first, just to let people know who might be watching. Well, one, I don't know if a lot of people even realize there is a cable studio available to them in town. It's surprising to us how often people see the building or just have no idea this is available to them. So it is available to any resident, anyone who owns a business in town. You can come in, get trained on video production equipment, how to make your own TV show, and it's all about free speech. So, you know, we're not going to censor you as long as you're within state laws and everything. You can talk about what you want to talk about. So, but as far as the podcast, that's something newer that we've incorporated, because podcasts have become very popular. It's funny to me, but also interesting. The kids I work with who are in middle school, when they come here every week, they aren't as interested in the video. They just want to make podcasts. That's all they want to do. And I'm like, but it's basically radio. But hey, they love it. So
because that is basically what it is.
Yeah, but they love it. But so we have that available to people if they want to make a podcast. But in order to kind of, well, I just always kind of wanted to do something like this, and the podcast seemed like the best route to go about it. So kind of touching on stuff you were talking about earlier with kindness and positivity and all of that, I felt that there's so much negativity in the world, or at least it seems that way because that's all you hear about, especially in our news cycle and everything like that. But there is so much good that goes on in the world, and it's just been proven to me over and over with doing these podcast episodes how much good there is and how many good, kind people there are, but you just don't hear about them. Right. So it's called Dose of Good Podcasts. You can kind of get your dose of good for the day. And I do 2 episodes a month, and you can get it on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. I also have an Instagram and Facebook for it if you just search Dose of Good Podcast. And yeah, it's been really good for me so it features nonprofits for the most part and the good work that they're doing, but I also want to share individuals who just, out of the kindness of their heart are doing good things. And so I think I've recorded 21 episodes so far.
Goodness.
And all except one have been nonprofits. I did recently have Megan Plaza on, who is a 15-year-old Londonderry high school student, and the amount of things she's doing at 15 is just incredible. But she also has started her own nonprofit, the Suitcase Project, where basically she collects new or gently used suitcases for kids in foster care, because a lot of times they were traveling with garbage bags or things like that. So, and that's just one example. I'm trying to think who else I've had on. So for some bigger ones, it's been like the American Heart Association, Cancer Society, but then there's been local, like community caregivers. We did just have the Alert team on, but that will come out in February. The next one to come out, which will be the 21st, is Webster House.
Oh, in Manchester.
In Manchester, yes. So there's definitely a lot of amazing people out there doing hard work to make the world a better place, basically.
You film them too, so
I've
watched it.
So we've got them set. It was kind of makeshift in the beginning, but now we've got 3 cameras wired up, so we do put the podcast on YouTube, and there's a video version there as well, so people can watch it.
That's what I've watched a few. I really enjoy them.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad. Yeah.
Celebrating the humble heroes.
Exactly.
Behind the scenes, it's
Exactly. Yeah, and they deserve to be celebrated because they work so hard in what are often very difficult
low-paying
situations, and low paying, and sometimes they don't get the credit or thanks that they deserve. So So if you want to check it out, I would appreciate it. And if you know of anyone who would be good to have on the podcast, whether that's an individual who's helping out their community or a nonprofit, I'm always looking for new people to have on. So
maybe our Rotary could be a possibility.
I've reached out to them, and I'm having difficulty getting them to respond. But they are one that I would like to have on.
Yeah, they're a wonderful group too. And, but no, thank you, Erin, for all of your work and that humble hero always, behind the scene doing all of these things for the community. So we appreciate it. And how many years have you been a part of everything now?
Oh goodness, I always lose track of the number, but I want to say it's like it was 2007 when I started here. Wow. So it's 16, 17 years, something like that. So
wow. And it is nice, like you can't stress enough that if you just want to learn about the equipment, Erin will make an appointment with you, set up a time.
Yeah, professional studio cameras, audio, lighting, directing, editing, and then now podcasts.
On YouTube, it's Londonderry Access Center
Television. Yep.
Because I subscribe, so now I can get all the new things that come on, because I was trying to find it for a while. I didn't have the right name.
Well, and now there's also the government one too. So sometimes if you search, you might get the government one, which has like the town council meetings, all that stuff.
Erin, can you just take a second before we end?
Sure.
Like the channels have changed a little as to where we can find things with our cable
Sure.
access?
So the public was the big one that changed. So it used to be 20 forever.
Right.
And then Comcast decided to change up their, so now it's channel 6. The government is still the same as it always has been, which is 22.
22, okay.
So, yeah.
But our show and other shows
Will
would
be
run
channel
on 6.
6, yeah.
Okay, that's good to know
So-
too.
So
Wonderful.
it's not 3 different ones, it's the 2 now, so.
Yes.
And then the
22 and
school
6.
is on,
The school also moved. I will double check and verify,
remember
and if
which
I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen, but I think they are 7 now.
okay,
Okay,
They used to be
perfect.
21.
21, yeah.
So, yeah.
Wonderful, good.
Yeah,
And
so-
maybe too, if back on the screens, you could put a picture of that amazing podcast room that you've set
Oh,
up.
sure,
Because when
yeah.
I saw it, it's just, yeah, I think people would like to see how impressive. It's like something you'd see in a
Yeah.
movie or
Oh,
on.
well,
It's
thank
really
you.
impressive.
And
yeah,
it's
so-
one thing to point out too is sometimes for people who might be nervous to be in front of the camera or be recorded for television, if they want to have a show that's just a podcast, we don't have to do the video portion. So they could
very
just do the
nice.
audio part of it and we can leave the cameras off. So sometimes that makes people more comfortable to start to not have that video portion to
Right,
it.
yeah,
So,
excellent.
so yeah.
Well,
But thank you for having me
Thank
on to
you.
promote the podcast.
no, we
So-
appreciate
Anything
it.
positive, we're trying to get that
Yeah,
out there.
Yes.
We're
positive,
just
Yes.
inundated with negativity, it's just so.
Yeah.
Right, the more
frustrating.
positivity we can spread, I'm all for that.
There you
So,
go, right, and you know, you can always disagree with someone,
Mm-hmm.
but it's how we disagree, you know, and the gotcha mentality, we just have to poof, make it go away, because we all make mistakes, we're all
Yeah.
perfectly imperfect,
Mm-hmm.
and really that's how we grow and appreciate each other, and you can always say a problem, but come up with a solution too, you know, try to come up, so Erin, we love what you're doing,
Oh,
and,
thank you.
and we're happy to be back. So you will see more of the Londonderry View, and our candidates will be next, as we said. And we hope to hear from you. And any ideas, please share them with us. I know Erin also is, you know, just kind of taking everything in. So I think it's time to say good night.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And we're going to say good night from your Londonderry View team and our Erin. So thank you. Good night.